Mod Light Tour, the Stars North Tour. Welcome them back. Drive the number 61. A feature win over at Merrittville out of New York. It is Derek Wagner. Blair Young in the Too Easy, the rat on the inside. Behind them, the defending and two-time Merrittville champ, it is the 17 of Josh Slater. Rick Brubaker sits outside in the 67. Haven't seen a lot of Rick on the track this year. Want to welcome him back tonight in the 67. Behind them, starting third on the inside, will be the 23 of Jeff May, and outside him, the veteran Randy Hollingshead in the 77. Rob Goulding, a rookie from the mini stocks, into the 16 car, and outside him, it's the 19 of Jason Corliss. They bring it around, 8 laps the distance, and away we go. Wagner got on it. We'll see if they let that one fly or not. And they are hard. Looks like Blair Young's got some issues there, and he fades back. Derek Wagner down the back chute.
Derek Wagner is a former feature runner here this weekend in the Wild Light Division, and he's pulled away to a good lead in that 61 car. Josh Slater now has broken clear of the pack, and he goes on the hammer here this weekend as well in that black number 17 car.
Wagner streaking away in the 61. He's got a pretty big margin over Josh. The 3 wide behind them as Corliss slips up the inside to take away third from the Hollingshead 77 now, and he'll sneak under the 67 of Rick Brubaker.
Hollingshead has had a couple of good runs here this weekend in the past. He's up to that 4th spot now in the 77 as Brubaker falling back a little bit. Here comes Golden, the rookie, in that 16 car, starting to get the Wild Lights figured out.
These guys running about an 18-second lap around here, pretty quick for these motorcycle-powered, smaller type cars. Derek Wagner having a great run here. Been on a tear. He's tied for the Merrittville points lead in only his 2nd year behind the wheel. Having a great season in that 61. The lone American driver at Merrittville each week, Tommy.
And I believe also the lone American here tonight in the Wild Light Division. And he's out front right now, but Josh Slater has cut into his lead just a little bit in that 17 car. Can he run him down before the end of this one? 4 laps in the books now. Make that 5 laps in the books.
Josh Slater, quiet and smooth week in and week out, somehow manages to find his way to the front to be a contender on most nights. Again, he'll be a contender here in the qualifying race, 2 to go, and he chases down Derek Wagner.
Slater now gets a run on the inside, but here's where he falls back, as everyone in the sprint cars did as well. That bottom of turn 2, not having much grip right now, as the track's still starting to come into shape here tonight. White flag out now for Wagner.
Slater goes to the bottom. Wagner wiggles, and that'll be what Slater needs. Josh Slater gets the lead, but here comes Wagner. Battles back on the outside after a bobble in 2, nearly cost him the race win, and Slater will pull up in front and take it away. Josh Slater takes it over Derek Wagner. Third from the back will be Jason Corliss. He started absolute tail. Then Hollingshead and Jeff May.
So a good race as usual for the Wild Lights here at Ohsweken. These guys always putting on a good show, and we have them here 5 times a year.
Greg Mills in the number 4. Jared Turnbull in the 9. We'll start up third. Paul Klager next in line in the number 1. Corey Howe out of St. Catharines in the 33. And out of Port Colborne, it's Sean Slater in the 27. Sorry, Ray Slater Jr. in the 27. Sean Slater in the 71S. And then Rick Cable in the 26 at the back.
Keep an eye on that number 1 car, Paul Klager, always a threat here. Got the win the last time the Wild Lights were here back in May.
Dylan Slater's been quite impressive in his rookie campaign. Been quick in that 7 car, getting set to roll. Green comes out. Here we go. And Mills doesn't really get going in the 4, and everybody else streaks around. Look at Klager. He's trying to jump around a few into turn 2.
Klager up into that 2nd spot already. Turnbull holding back a whole bunch of competitors here right now as they try to fan out and get up to the front.
Dylan Slater and Paul Klager lead this pack through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Klager trying to find the highway around. Can't get clear yet, and now he does as they work to 3. Dylan's father, Sean, now streaks up into third in the 71S, and he'll put to try and challenge the leaders.
Yeah, Slater in the 71S made a nice three-wide move there, and he's right into the fight for the lead now. Dylan Slater out front again. Flagger slips back a bit, and Sean Slater into the fight.
Dylan Slater still the lead, but his dad gonna upset him here as it comes to the outside. Sean Slater trying to take it away from his son Dylan. Dylan keeps it pinched down low, and his dad, one of the most winningest drivers in this class, will come around the outside and take a shot at the lead, and he'll have it out of 4. Halfway through with 4 to go, Tommy.
Sean Slater in the 71S led much of the race last time the Wild Lights were here before the one of Paul Flagger slipped by with just a few laps to go, and you know he wants to atone for that one and get the win here tonight. He's off to a good start leading this heat race.
Sean Slater leading Paul Flagger and Dylan Slater. Red flag out now. We've got one upside down here in turn 3.
What the heck?
So Rick Cable the wrong way, and the ultimate wrong way here. He's on the roof in turn 3. The nice thing about these smaller cars, they can flip it back gently onto its wheels. The car doesn't seem to be beat up too bad, but we won't really know until it gets back on all 4. Bit of body damage, so we'll get a look over by our race rescue crew here in turn 3. Looked like he wants out. How about a folks, Rick Cable out of the car down here? He's all right. Taking a breather here, talking to the race rescue crew.
Back going with our second Mod Light heat race, and it looks like the number 9 of Jared Turnbull going to take that machine to the pit area. So out front is the 71S of Sean Slater, then it's the 7 of Dylan Slater, Paul Flagger 3rd, in the number 1, Corey Howe 4th. Ray Slater in the 26 is 5th, and Larry Young in the number 4 rounds out the field. Here we go. 3 laps left to go, and Slater streaking away out front. So Slater out front in the 71S, and now here comes Corey Howe. He's got to the inside of the number 1 of Paul Flagger for just a moment there. Flagger now with a strong run down the front stretch. Almost gets the second spot back, but Dylan Slater in that 7th strong on the bottom. Flagger and Slater side by side for the second spot, and now Dylan Slater will come away with that one. White flag out now for the 71 of Sean Slater. Now Flagger and Dylan Slater side by side once again for that second spot. Flagger is clear of him for the moment. Here comes Sean Slater out of turn 4. He will get the heat race win. Second at the line, it will be Flagger. Then the 7S of Dylan Slater, the 33 of Corey Howe. 26 of Ray Slater Jr. and the number 4 of Greg Mills. Greg Mills at the number 4.
Mod Light event starting up front of the pole in the number 19 will be Jason Corliss. Outside of him, the 7S, the rookie Dylan Slater. Dylan's father Sean starts inside the next row in the 71S, and outside them Derek Wagner in the 61, the lone driver out of New York State. Third on the inside, the defending and 2-time Maryville Speedway champ Josh Slater in the number 17, and outside him, sophomore driver Jeff May in the 23. The veteran Corey Howe in the 33 will be next inside with the multi-time champ Paul Klager. The Beamsville Bullet lines up outside in the number 1. Ray Slater Jr. lines up in the number 26. On the inside, the 77 is Randy Hollings, head out of Stony Creek. 16 is Rob Goulding, and outside him, the 4 of Greg is Rick Brubaker, the 27 of Rick Cable, and the 2 easy of Blair Young. Green flag is out. Here we go. We are on it into 1, and it'll be Jason Corliss on the bottom. Wagner going around the outside in the 61.
They were 3 wide there on the start, and they were 3 wide there for that 5th spot just a minute ago. Wagner out front of the 61. Look at Klager in that middle groove in that 1 car, really getting the power down.
Klager working the outside now back to the middle in 1 and 2. Corliss goes up top, Slater to the bottom, Klager in the middle, but up front streaking away. It is New York's 61 of Derek Wagner.
Wagner pulling away right now over the 71 of Slater, who's worked his way up to the 2nd spot. Klager all over him for the 3rd spot. Corliss, the top side didn't work out for him. He's back to the bottom, but here comes the 17 of Josh Slater.
I got to wonder if the 7S of Dylan Slater hit that inside wall. The left front looks like it's dragging a little bit, and it's all caked with concrete on the left side front tire, Tommy. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I think he got the wall down here in 1 and 2 just a bit. Doesn't seem to have done too much damage, just put a bit of a stripe on that tire. Meanwhile, Wagner way out front now. Klager gets around the 71 of Slater, and he's going to give chase now.
Paul Klager up to 2nd ahead of Sean Slater. We've seen these guys have many a knife fight here in the feature at Ohsweken on the Stars North Tour. Going at it again. Josh Slater, don't count the 17 out. He is slow and steady and will progressively move to the front. But Derek Wagner, you talk about confidence and what it will do for you. Proof is in the wheelhouse of the 61. Wagner came out, won a race at Maryville, took the point lead. He is up on the wheel, Tommy.
Yeah, it seems like we go through phases with these Mod Light guys. One of them gets some confidence, and he's very hard to beat. We saw that with Sean Slater last year, as he got the majority of the feature wins when the Mod Lights came here, and he's back in 3rd tonight as Klager started to put some distance on him.
Everybody streaks out to a single file line. Best race right now is Jeff May in the 23 and Dylan Slater in the 7. Corey Howe trying to get inside of both of them. On the bottom of 2 though, still New York's Derek Wagner in the 61.
Wagner is the leader in the 61. He's coming up to put a lap on the number 4 of Mills, as he's got a full straightaway lead over the 1 of Klager. Then it's Sean Slater 3rd. 4th is Josh Slater in the 17. 5th is the 19 of Jason Corliss.
Behind Corliss, Dylan Slater, Jeff May, and Corey Howe, all looking for some racing room. Wagner puts another one on the board. That'll take us to lap 9. Klager still almost a full straightaway behind the leader.
So Wagner in his own time zone right now in that 61 car. He does have a feature win here at Ohsweken, and he got the halfway signal that time by. 10 in, 10 to go for the leader, Derek Wagner.
And he's just got it on rails tonight, streaking away. Josh Slater trying to work his way onto the lap car of Greg Mills. No a challenge on the Wagner 61, as he is really on it tonight, Tommy.
Yeah, Wagner's put a lap on 2 cars, now looking for another one, as we don't usually see the Mod Lights go a lap down here, but Wagner's just on fire here tonight, really laying down some fast laps.
Good battle back there with Dylan Slater, Jeff May, Corliss, and Corey Howe as they work their way into turn 3. Oh, and Corey Howe goes around. Everybody should be able to avoid him. Howe with the visor up on the yellow comes down for the 33 of Corey Howe.
12 caution-free laps, but now Derek Wagner loses that big lead he had. And Paul Klager has a chance to collect his thoughts a little bit. He's one of those veterans who, with a chance like this, he might not let it go.
Now, Tommy, do you think Klager maybe said, I'm sure there's going to be a caution. You go ahead, burn it up, kid. I'll wait for the yellow.
sure looked like for a while there that we weren't going to have one, but Clager's been around a little bit and he knows the deal in these mod lights. We usually have not too many stoppages when they're here at Ohsweken with the big wide track, but we usually have one or two in the feature. And yeah, I think Clager might have been playing a bit of games here. We'll have to wait and see. Wagner certainly looked pretty fast out there in the 61.
If you've never seen these cars before, they have motorcycle engines under the hood of these smaller cars. Motorcycle racing, motorcycle engines. Put it down when they need to. Getting set to go. Wagner with a great jump ahead of Clager. Sean Slater trying to fill that gap with his nephew Josh in the 17, trying to gang up on the leader. 3 wide behind you, Tommy, out of 2.
We saw Clager on the initial start of this race really make some moves in the middle group down here in 3 and 4, but right now Wagner looks pretty strong down there on the bottom.
Clager's got Sean Slater right behind him. Clager's starting to shadow the leader. 6.5 to go as they reach the midpoint of the back straightaway into 3. Wagner out of New York trying to hold off Beamsville's Paul Clager and Port Colborne, Sean Slater.
So the 3 cars up front all separated by about 3 car lengths as they go down into turn 1 and 2 another time, all running the bottom groove as they break away from the rest of the field. Good fight going on there for the rookie Rob Goulding. He's made his way up quite a few spots now in the 16.
Derek Wagner with 5 to go. This is where Clager and Slater can capitalize. Can they get up on the wheel and catch that 61? We will know within the next 4 laps.
Wagner's back there not too far away, as is Slater. If Wagner makes one mistake, they will be right there. But so far, he has not put a wheel wrong in that 61.
Wagner only been at this a couple of years. Clager and Sean Slater have a lot of years experience in the mod lights. Paul Clager took a stint in the 358s, as did Sean Slater. In fact, both second and third started the season at Maryville with the modifieds and jumped back to this division before the year was out because they had so much fun.
Clager now has made up some ground. He's right there on the back end of the 61 of Wagner as they get the 2 to go signal. The lap car of Mills gets out of the way, so we will have clean and green out front. As I say that now, yellow, Rob Goulding loses all those spots he gained. The 16 goes to the back.
All the tires up on the Goulding 16.
Go for a 2-lap dash to the finish here. Derek Wagner, the leader in the 61. Second is the 1 of Clager. Third is the 71 of Sean Slater. Fourth, the 17 of Josh Slater. And fifth, the 7S of Dylan Slater.
Sometimes it's easier just to tell them who's not a Slater in this class. Green comes out, away we go. 2 more for Derek Wagner, but Clager, the Beamsville Bullet, loading up the revolver. Can he pull the trigger, Tommy?
He's down there right on the tail end of Wagner. Down the backstretch they go. And right here in turn 3, Clager gets to the inside, but Wagner shuts the door that time.
Clager could have punted him there. He was close enough to hit the 61. Here he goes. Paul Clager sets up for an outside pass. Going around Wagner, but Wagner with the bite streaks away. This could be all she wrote.
Yeah, Clager tried to go to the middle groove. It did not work out for him there. Wagner comes out of turn 4 the final time, and he will get the feature win. Second will be called Paul Clager. Third, Sean Slater. Fourth, Josh Slater. And fifth, Dylan Slater. Off. Here he comes out of the car, makes some noise for him. Your feature winner in the mod lights, Derek Wagner. Okay, but right now we're going to talk to Derek Wagner. Welcome back to the Engine Pro Racing Winner's Circle here at Ohsweken. You made that one look pretty easy, but you're down here out of breath. It was some hard work, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was a heck of a run. It just started off, you know, it fired right off the start. The bottom started working. Basically changed plans going down front straight where I was going to stick it, and you know, I got to say thanks to Kevin, my dad. We thrashed around here last minute to make just about every change on a race car you can make, and well, it paid off.
Well, you're the point leader down at Merrittville, and 5 visits here to Ohsweken as well. Totally different tracks here. Which one do you like better?
I've always liked Ohsweken. All my crew guys know it. You know, it's something different, a little bit faster. You know, a lot of room, a lot of different groups you can try. It's a blast here.
And who do you want to thank for getting you here to the Engine Pro Winter Circle?
I got to say thanks my crew for coming out. You know, busting their behinds to get in Winter Circle. I got to thank all my sponsors. I got Fearby's Auto, HFI, Harris Beach, Sigma Motor Performance, the B&S Race Ranch, DMB Motorsports, and you know, all the support from the Canadian fans and all the support back from the States.
There he is. That's Derek Wagner. He's your Mod Light winner here tonight. Put your hands together one more time for him.
Right here.